is the perfect setup? Well, if you spend any time on Instagram, it is an ergonomic setup. And while this seems great in theory to be nicer to your body, when I look at split keyboards and vertical mice, I can't help but recoil in horror. But is it actually worth it to spend an enormous amount of money on an ergonomic setup? This, according to the Wirecutter, is the ideal ergonomic workstation setup. You're supposed to be eye level at the top of the screen, or 1 to 2 inches below. You should have your monitor roughly an arm's length away. Your chair should have lumbar support and recline to 100 or 110 degrees. I don't even know what that means. Elbows bent at 90 or more, wrists flat at the keyboard, knees level with hips or slightly below, and your feet are flat on the ground or on a footrest. I'm gonna start with this. Oh, I can get it in America. I can get a USA flag. Yeah, I want my wrists to be patriotic as hell. So there are a number of ergonomic mice. I guess when it comes to mice, you can kind of categorize them in 3 different spots. A normal mouse, a vertical mouse, which is basically just the same thing except it rotates your wrist, and a trackball mouse. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get both the trackball as well as the ergonomic one and see what's what. Now comes the hard part. What about an ergonomic keyboard? So there's stuff like this, which is essentially a keyboard that has a little rise in the middle. What am I even looking at here? This looks like a keyboard that someone left out in the sun too much. But I'm gonna give this a try, and then I'm also going to try the split keyboard again. Here's a split keyboard. It's a 9-inch separation. I guess the advantage of a split keyboard is that you can really separate your hands. So your hands can kind of be like, level with your shoulders, I suppose. I guess I need a chair, right?
Ooh, the most contentious category of all.
According to Amazon, every chair is ergonomic. If I want to go with the overall Amazon pick, it's the Sweet Crispy $45 chair. I'm not sure how ergonomic this could be. So there are lumbar support pillows. I mean, this is Amazon's choice. It is $29, so seems pretty affordable. Oh, a footrest. Do I need a footrest? I think I do. What the hell? Oh, you gotta take your shoes off for these. What? Do you want large, extra large, or extra, extra large? Sit up straight, drink some water, subscribe to the channel for ergonomic tips from your boy Austin, and we'll see you in 2 to 4 business days when our Amazon ergonomic setup has arrived. So for context, this is my quote-unquote normal work setup. For me, I feel much more energetic when I'm standing, which means that ergonomics don't really exist. Pretty much every night I'll stand in front of the counter and I'll sit here and I'll do email and whatever for a couple hours. And for me, that feels healthy because I have a lack of energy when I sit. Like if I walk over and sit in a chair, I just immediately want to be lazy. I don't actually work well in a chair. Now, maybe today that's all going to change with my ergonomically gifted setup. Now, I'll admit that at a countertop that's maybe slightly lower than a healthy height, it feels a little awkward, right? Like I gotta lean, my wrists aren't straight. I understand this is not super healthy, but for me, I like to stand. I literally just use the surface exactly as it is on whatever surface I can find. So we're gonna start out with what every good ergonomic setup needs, which is a standing desk.
All right, we are not doctors, this is not medical advice,
Not
but
medical advice.
most people will say that you shouldn't be standing 100% of the time or sitting 100% of the time. You should be probably doing both.
It'll also be helpful because we have to be very precise to see just how ergonomic this is. So the fact that the standing desk will go up and down, we can adjust it precisely so that our ergonomics have been nomicked. So let's start out with our, I'm gonna say normal keyboard. I don't get it. I'll be honest with you, I don't understand why. They say wavy keyframe design for instantly familiar and natural typing with a cushioned palm rest. Okay, I'm just gonna open it, I don't know. I mean, it's a little carpal tunnel between friends. Oh, well, I almost threw away my little Logitech dongle. Well, I will say I like the little pattern on this. Even though it's smooth to the touch, it looks kind of cool. Yeah, it's a little weird, but I understand what they're saying as far as like it's easy to get used to because it's just everything is slightly rotated compared to what you think. So basically when I put my hands on it, my right and my left hands are both tilting slightly inward instead of like straight. Our split keyboard has a very different philosophy. You're like splitting your hands out so that theoretically they are much more even with your shoulders. We've done them a couple times on Mystery Tech. And I'll be honest with you, I cannot type on these things at all. But I do know that split keyboards are theoretically the absolute best for ergonomics. I will say it looks very old. Like just looking at this keyboard, it looks very like Windows Vista-y. You can get your tenting accessories, your cushion palm supports. This feels very much like it is designed to be super flexible, right? Like the Logitech is like my first Ergo keyboard. This is like, I've been using Linux for too many years and I have questionable life decisions. We've got this little dongle-y doohickey guy. You put them totally together. You could also rotate them a little bit, or you can just disconnect this guy and put them fully apart. There's literally no tilt, there's no stand, there's nothing. I'll tell you immediately, that feels terrible. Who wants to type on a keyboard that has zero lift at all? I think they really want you to go out and buy extra feet for it.
So we got the 9-inch cable separation. There is a 20-inch cable separation.
20 inches? That's too big. Here's the thing. I know this is not gonna be for me because I'm a very poor typist when it comes to like crossing over. Like the T key, the G key, both of those I do with my right hand. They're fine, but just like the Logitech. We also do have a number of different things, including cut, copy, paste, delete, web, back and forward, and escape key, like a bunch of extra keyboard shortcuts on the side, but interestingly no numpad.
They thought of that. You can buy a separate little module for that.
Here's the thing with Kinesis. I feel like this is a company who they've cornered the market on split keyboards, at least for the sort of mainstream ones, and they're ready to sell you not only the keyboard, but tenting accessories, additional numpads, and all kind of crazy nonsense with our keyboards paired. Let us move on to our mice. So the first one is the one that actually was recommended with our Ergo keyboard, which is the Logitech Lift. So this is a vertical mouse. Now, there are different types of vertical mouse. So this one I would say is like a, I don't know, it's an angle, but it's not vertical. I've seen mice that are almost entirely vertical, and like your pinky is where like your hand rests. Every mouse, I feel like has like, you know, at least any decent mouse, has like a little bit of shape and texture to it. Like my normal mouse that I use when I am at a desk is a Logitech MX Master 3S. It's a quite nice mouse. We talked about it on Mystery Tech a little while ago when it first came out. Like it's a good mouse, and it is, I would say, slightly rotated. So I'm assuming this is just gonna be a little bit more. Oh no.
Why are you so surprised? Half our editors use it.
That is true, actually. Most of the edit team does use one of these mice. Well, this one does have a AA battery that's magnetized, and it also does have a Logitech receiver as well. Obviously, I'm gonna, like, once everything's unboxed, I'm actually gonna plug it all in, but just like first impressions. Oh, that's actually nice. So you got yourself back buttons, which are right for your thumbs, your left and right mouse click. Still use the same fingers, the scroll wheel. All this is instead of your hand doing like this, your hand is doing this. And I will immediately say that feels nice. This feels like I could get up and running in like 2 minutes. I'll tell you what I'm not gonna be a fan of is our Ergo M575 Trackball Mouse. I don't think you can actually move the mouse around. I think it's just purely trackball. Yeah, it literally, you can't push it. It's got like rubber feet on the bottom. Wow, like you can, your entire mousing is happening with your thumb and the trackball. I think my thumb would get tired because it's a lot of like motion. Maybe if you set like your sensitivity quite high, just like small motions with your thumb, because I feel like it can be pretty precise. I think I like the vertical mouse is slightly more vertical, but like that does feel pretty comfortable because like my hand, like it rests where my hand is. So something that we desperately need is a little bit of extra freedom to create and to ergonomicize however we need, which is why I purchased this ergonomic mouse pad. What, you might ask, is an ergonomic mouse pad? I have absolutely no idea, but Amazon told me that I should buy it, and wow. Just wanna weep tears of freedom. It's like bumpy on the top and smooth on the bottom. I'll just say this is just not gonna work for the trackball, right? Oh, actually, no, it does kind of. The trackball will kind of stay. Maybe I should try with the vertical mouse. Ooh, I don't know if I like that at all. This feels dumb. Oh, that actually feels pretty good, because actually both of my wrists are supported. This wrist rest is sort of built in, and it really kind of kicks up my wrist. This feels like it's about the right height. I'm not gonna say I'm converted, but you know, I might give it a try, give it a fair shot. Let's start building the really ergonomic stuff. We're talking about the primo Amazon's Choice recommended ergonomic $40 office chair.
$45.
So for $45, let's see how ergonomic this really is. It says don't use the box cutter to cut what I just cut. It says don't use a box cutter on either side? What am I gonna do? Cut a hole in the middle? I can't imagine a $45 Amazon's Choice chair is gonna be any good, but I guess let me put it together and I'll let you know real soon. why hello there. Alrighty, so after a few minutes of assembly, I now have my $45 ergonomic chair. It is a chair. I must say that the actual backrest feels all right though. So it's one of those ones where it's just all like soft. I can't adjust it down or back up. The fact that they try to say this is ergonomic, I think is entirely because it's got this soft backrest, which I will say does feel pretty nice. Like actually that's not uncomfortable. But what's not comfortable are these little short, very plasticky armrests. I don't know, I feel like my feet are just dangling, which is not in any way an indictment of my height, but instead purely a statement of fact because this chair is about what you would expect for $45. However, we can do better. When I opened the box, I thought they had accidentally sent me two things, but in fact, this is our footrest and this is our lumbar support. Out of everything we purchased here, I think the lumbar pillow is one of the most weirdly expensive ones. Please use it at a comfortable temperature, which will give you an excellent experience. So do I need to put this in the freezer before I put it on my chair? What? So we have successfully installed our lumpy lumbar, which, oh no, that's way too low. What? This is supposed to be ergonomic? I'm not sure the lumbar is doing anything besides just like pushing me forward a little bit. I'll play with that in a minute. We also have a footrest pillow. Now when I purchased this on Amazon, I was under the impression I was getting like a proper footrest, but it's definitely just a pillow that you're supposed to rub your dirty ass feet on. It's inhaling, it's expanding. Now what? Where did my feet go? Am I supposed to do this? Oh, I guess I'm supposed to take my shoes off, okay. Sorry, I'm getting a little, Oh, okay, actually that's kind of okay. It's very squishy. What are you laughing about?
You're right.
How about now? I just needed some extra, oh, my feet don't touch the floor, damn it. Behold, my friends, version 1 of the unergonomicized setup. So, as you can see, we now have everything mounted on a desk. We have a arm where we can adjust the height and the verisimilitude of the monitor.
What?
Kenzie is the closest to someone in the office who is ergonomically certified because she regularly uses a split keyboard. Kenzie, can you please help me make this ergonomic?
Let's actually start from the bottom up. Is that a footrest?
That's a, yes, I have to take my shoes off for it.
Knees level with hips or slightly below.
I think that's pretty close actually, right?
So then we're gonna, because your wrists should be like directly up, you're gonna move this way.
Okay. So are you trying to say that I'm too short to be ergonomic?
Yes.
So,
we're exposing Austin for being 5'6".
It's not true. That's 6 inches too short.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
6 inches too tall.
Oops. Yeah, that's...
Get his ass, Joanna.
Our problem here is that our $45 Amazon special chair is bad because I can't adjust the armrest.
Well, maybe somebody thought ahead and grabbed another chair from
We have
the
another
office.
chair? Oh, perfect, sweet. Goodbye, stupid dumb chair.
This is a Herman Miller chair, often touted as one of the brands that are very, very ergonomic.
I will say I know about this chair because I bought it for the whole office actually in like 2016.
So everyone shares one chair.
I want to say this chair was like $600 back then, and it's probably more now. It was absurd. Wait, this is still too low. Hold on a second.
Can this really not go? Oh no, it can go lower.
Oh. Never mind.
Also, can I have some questions about this mouse pad? What, is this? It's got
Freedom. That's about 90 degrees,
it's
right?
better than a different type of mouse pad.
Support is support.
Monitor.
Yes.
Roughly arm's length away. That.
Oh, wow, that is actually pretty much eye level. If this is really what they want you to do, this feels too close.
Yeah, maybe you just have short arms.
You can push it a little bit.
I'm gonna start out with the vertical mouse. I'm gonna do the regular Logitech keyboard, which are supposedly a good pair.
Neither of these keyboards are ortholinear, although this way.
Ortho what?
Ortholinear is when the keys are directly above each other instead of staggered like this. One thing that you'll notice that you're doing,
Yeah.
I can talk to you while you're doing it, is you're taking one of your hands off of the armrest to do that, and you're kind of getting.
Yeah, this is not good. So first thoughts on this keyboard, it's actually not bad. I mean, obviously it sounds like nothing because it's just a membrane keyboard. Now, let me try to swap from the comfy keyboard and vertical mouse to the split keyboard and
so,
the trackball mouse.
The thought behind the split keyboard is that if you notice, if you're watching him type on that keyboard, he was having to like kind of hover off and go in. Ideally, if you're doing so much typing, you want to be able to, from your kind of home position on your armrest, be able to do that. What I use on my desk at the office.
What is that even?
This is an Ergodox, the Ergodox Easy.
Oh, I see. So, that's what you mean by straight
so
up and down
you
for all
all
the
did
keys.
this on Mystery Tech before I started working here, and everyone hated it.
There's an attachment
Yes.
that will let you go
You can.
completely vertical on both
Yeah.
sides.
Look, I'm gonna tell you immediately, this is not for me. I've tried these in the past. I can't do it.
So-
do you want to try
Do you
the
have
keyboard
it?
by itself?
Do you have? Is it actually? Put your arms down.
Arms down. Oh, you're right. Yeah, closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
With this guy,
Yeah.
you can get up and running on it really quick. Like, it's a little bit of an adjustment. I'm not as fast as normal, but like, this is fine. This is just a slight tweak. The problem is that I'm gonna need to spend a lot of time to really get good with this because I'm stuck staring at the keyboard because I don't have any sort of muscle memory on where everything is.
And if you have wrist problems, you will try anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once you are at that point where you're like, oh my god, my wrists hurt. You're like, holy, yeah. Sign me up for that crazy layout.
I immediately will say though, before I even talk about the keyboard too much, this trackball mouse is actually pretty good. Now, you have to turn the DPI up pretty high because for me, I don't want to have to move my thumb that far. And like, I kind of have to like scroll. Like, it takes like 3 or 4 scrolls to go from side to side. And while, yeah, it's certainly not like perfect or whatever, I think I could actually get used to this Ergo setup pretty fast. Let me see how well I can type with this my first try. It sounds just like I'm typing on a bag of bones. I got 41 words per minute, my first full typing test with this, which is slow, but I think the last time I used a split keyboard, I was at like 10. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's a lot faster than me. 88 words per minute. That's
The true metal of an Ergo setup is not, you're not gonna find it just by doing it like for 5 minutes. The benefits of it come out over using it for like weeks and weeks and months and
yeah.
months.
I actually think that the gaps between like your elbows, 90 degrees, and the monitor, everything, all of that feels pretty close. Now, I would say that you can take it all with a grain of salt. I'm a pretty big fan of almost all of this advice. Even this very cheap chair with the back support actually feels pretty good. I could actually sit here for quite a while. Well, yes, if you want to go out and spend literally 10 times that on a high-end fancy chair, that's a better experience. But I'll say that this is not 10 times worse than that. Like, I'm surprised at how decent this is. The main thing would be when it comes to buying a chair, get something with an adjustable armrest. I think that is probably the main thing that I'm missing here. Now, when it comes to the footrest, I'm not sold on this. Honestly, I get the idea of a footrest, but I ain't taking my shoes off at work. So, is the all ergonomic setup a hype or a gripe?
You're using my words, yay!
I will actually say that if we're talking about Ergo setups, the hype is real. I'm actually kind of a big fan. I'm actually going to spend some time learning a little bit more about kind of an ideal ergonomic setup. That being said, I still do like the idea of a standing desk. I can still take some of those same principles when it comes to just trying to get it, 90 degrees on the elbows.
Yeah.
I've been ergonized. Take care of yourself. Drink some water, good posture, call your mom, and take a nap every once in a while. You deserve it. Also, subscribe to the Austin Evans channel, ring-a-ling the ding-a-ling button for some solid consumer advice, like don't take your shoes off at work and get yourself a keyboard, mouse, and ergonomic setup that helps to preserve your bodily functions.